Hey Star Warriors, Star Geek here to count down the top 10, no, make that 11 best Star Wars creatures. That's right, there are so many spectacular beasts in the Star Wars universe that I couldn't confine them to only a top 10. So this list will actually be the top 11 greatest brutes. From the swamps to the skies, I'm counting down all of our favorite aliens from across the galaxy. And an unrelated note, please leave any questions you have for me for an upcoming Q&A video. Only leave questions in the comment section below this episode to have your question be included in the next Q&A. Let's just hop right into it with the best creatures. Flying their way into spot number 11 are the Minox. These gliding pests tend to latch onto anything they see, constantly screeching and irritating everyone within a few feet. In the films, we don't really see much of these airborne menaces, but what we can see is their clear ability to frighten their victims. And who doesn't know about the Minox's constant habit of chewing on power cables? Even if these creatures didn't get much of an appearance in the saga, they certainly made their mark in Star Wars history, surprising us all in Empire. Stomping their way into spot number 10 are the Dewbacks, giant lizard-like steeds that are scattered about the saga, making minor appearances in several films. Most well known for carrying stormtroopers while on Tatooine, Dewbacks saunter along the barren wastelands while aiding the Empire in searching for the droids. Somehow, the Dewbacks seem to be very natural, most likely because of their realistic design. Usually green in tint, these quadruped reptiles have features ranging from long tails to sharp teeth.
Look, sir, droids.
Battling their way into spot number 9 are Aqua, Reek, and Nexu. I know that these are technically 3 different creatures, but I've decided to group them together. Reek, this giant red-horned Reek is seen in episode 2 during the Battle of Geonosis and makes a clear impression of his sheer power. Nexu, the seemingly most deadly of the trio, this Nexu is like a ferocious wildcat with extremely sharp teeth and claws. And Aqua, my favorite of the 3. Tall like a giraffe with legs like blades, this mantis-like creature has always reminded me of a large prehistoric insect. The design and danger of all 3 of these animals are unique and amazing, getting them collectively into 9th place.
I was beginning to wonder if you'd got my message.
I retransmitted it just as you had requested, Master. Then we decided to come and rescue you.
Good job.
Lurking its way into spot number 8 is the Sandoh Aqua Monster. None of the Star Wars creatures actually scare me, except for the Sandoh Aqua Monster. This huge underwater creature actually sends shivers down my spine. There's something about things lurking deep underwater in the dark that seems incredibly menacing. That's right, this is the menace that episode 1's title is referring to. But I digress. By far the biggest sea creature seen in the films, just the fact that the thing it eats in this scene is called the OPC killer proves the fact that
there's always a bigger fish.
Sauntering their way into spot number 7 are the Banthas. Barely seen in episodes 4 and 6, the Banthas were actually just elephants covered in straw. Nonetheless, stomping their way along the desert beside their Dewback counterparts got them into the Star Wars spotlight. With Tusken Raiders in tow, the Banthas accompany and aid their lifelong friends and masters in plundering every vehicle in sight. Even if the Sand People use their transport aliens for bad, the Banthas at heart mean no harm. In fact, they pretty much just walk and sleep. The Banthas get 7th place.
These tracks are side by side. Sand People always ride single file to hide their numbers.
Swimming its way into spot number 6 is the Die Onaga, one of the most famous scenes in the Star Wars saga, let alone movie history, the trash compactor's greatest threat. Besides its crushing compactors, the Die Onaga somehow made its way onto the giant metal space station. Threatening Luke's life and startling his friends, this vital plot point in the film leads us into one threat after another. One of the creature's greatest features is its design, long tentacles and a singular yellow eye. The Die Onaga is a great alien.
You know, it's not gonna take them long to figure out what happened to us.
Could be worse.
It's worse.
Hiding its way into spot number 5 is the Asteroid Slug. Also known as an Exegorth, this slug was part of one of the most popular twists in the original trilogy. By revealing itself as a monster after disguising as a cave, this short scene showed us the danger of the Star Wars galaxy. Huge teeth that could destroy large space vessels and an incredibly long hidden body are just a few of the creature's features. The slug that nearly caught a falcon of a meal is one of the best creatures in the galaxy.
The cave is collapsing.
This is no cave.
Swiping their way into spot number 4 are the Wampas, the abominable snowmen of the Star Wars universe. Furry white Wampas definitely seem to be some of the most terrifying cave dwellers on Hoth. Hanging their victims from the roofs of their homes, who knew that simply chewing on some tauntaun meat could be so menacing? Blending in with their surroundings allowed this Wampa to sneak up on Luke, along with the audience. One of the most iconic creatures in the galaxy, the Wampas get 4th place.
Hey, what's the matter?
You smell something?
Sprinting their way into spot number 3 are the Tauntauns. Loud, ugly, and extremely malodorous, the Tauntauns may be good transportation in the snowy landscape, but they don't make the best house pets. Even if they are some of the oddest animals Star Wars has to offer, the design of the Tauntauns is very creative. Almost like tusked kangaroos hopping through the blizzards, the not-so-noble steeds are definitely some of the smelliest, if not best, creatures. You can ride them, and they even make good sleeping bags.
I thought they smelled bad on the outside.
One Tauntaun even saved George Lucas himself from a horde of adoring fans.
Quickly, sir, onto my back. I am your
Bad feeling about
Gulping its way into spot number 2 is the Sarlacc. Stationed at the Pit of Carcoon on Tatooine, the Sarlacc blends into the sandy surroundings. One of the deadliest, yet less conspicuous beasts. In his belly you will find a new definition of pain and suffering, as you are slowly digested over 1,000 years. And who could forget that this monster is the same one that swallowed everyone's favorite bounty hunter whole? With a snapping jaw-like tongue and tons of tentacles, the Sarlacc claims second place. And finally, roaring his way into spot number 1 is the Rancor. How couldn't I include the most powerful brute in Jabba's palace on this list? This specific Rancor, owned by Malakili, the distraught Rancor keeper, introduced himself with an entrance greater than any other alien on this list. Strong bone-snapping jaws, long powerful claws, a hideous figure, and menacing eyes, the Rancor is the ideal monster for any evil crime lord's dungeon. His threatening roar and gigantic stance scared even a near Jedi Master. With no other thought than to kill and eat, the Rancor met his demise when crushed by a very large portcullis gate. Even if his life may have come to an end, his legacy will live on, especially considering he was only one of many different variants and species. His last meal being a Gamorrean guard, the Rancor at least died on a full stomach. The Rancor easily claims spot number 1. So that's my list on the top 11 best Star Wars creatures. Subscribe to StarGeek for weekly Star Wars content. If you agreed with this list, disagree, or just enjoyed the video, please shoot that like button at light speed. You can go check out my Facebook page linked in the description below, as it really helps me out when you like my page. If you go over to the page, you will get daily news on Star Wars Episode 7, StarGeek episodes, memes, and even top 10 lists. Also go and check out my new Twitter account, @StarGeekYT, for tons of quick updates. Try clicking on the screen to subscribe, and click on the link to the left for my last video, a Trumpets by Jason Derulo Star Wars music video. You can also click on the right to watch my top 50 best Star Wars characters. Don't forget to like the video, and comment on your own list below the video. Until we meet again in a galaxy far, far away, this has been StarGeek. Get out of here, Gary. You're no beast.